Once I said that the higher self is the part of you that has not forgotten its oneness with the divine, with the infinite, and knows of no separation from all that is. So, the higher self. The higher self is relevant now more than ever. We are at a time in history that we have not only forgotten the higher self, but we forgot that we forgot. This forgetting is the collective dream, the consensus reality, the tabloid reality, or Maya, the illusion of the self. There are many names. As humans, or most of humans, they have never realized the true self, and as a result, they identify, they believe they are their bodies and their personalities, their ego. And as a result, they live in fear, either conscious or unconscious fear. In today's world, the majority of people who are engaged in some spiritual or religious practice, they are practicing things that are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. It is further agitation of the mind. It's like more human doing than human being. It's a spiritual bypassing, etc. So let me tell you a story. This is a story that somebody told me from shamanic lore, and I like it, so as an introduction. Once there was a great ocean. All existence was born from the great ocean, live of the ocean, and return back to the great ocean. As it was in the beginning, million upon millions of little rivers and sprang from this great ocean, and each river taking different directions across the land, like veins on the planet. But one day, a great drought came. No one saw it coming. The strong sun was drying up part of the rivers. So all of these rivers turned into lakes, became lakes, and they were no longer connected to the great ocean. So they felt lonely and in isolation and things like that. But as time went by, each lake became more and more depressed. And they forgot the great ocean. But one day, a shaman came to drink from one of the lakes. He noticed that the lake was depressed or sad. "Why are you so sad?" the shaman asked. The lake, a bit gloomy, responded, "Because I am nearly dried up. There is little water left, time is running out. Soon I will be gone forever." The shaman looked at the lake and laughed. "Silly lake, don't you know that you are connected to the great ocean? Although you changed, you are changeless. Your water evaporates and returns back to the great ocean. It is then reborn, repurposed, redistributed. how can you live or die? You are birthless and you are deathless. You are in all things, you are all things. This story is the best way to describe the higher self. We are all like the legs in the story. We believe we are separate, isolated, cut off from source. Because this is what happens when we develop personality, identity, ego, you know. But something within us, I call it the inner shaman, something continuously drive us closer to the truth through intuition, instinct, inner knowing. So eventually, one day, we will have one moment of clarity and self-realization, and we will remember that we are rivers which are connected to the great ocean. So in this story, the river is the higher self, and the great ocean is spirit, source, oneness, all that is. So who is the higher self? The higher self is you in the spiritual realms. The higher self is the real you. The you that is living here on earth is just a projection of the consciousness of your higher self. To understand the higher self, you need to get rid of the concept of time, linear time. Because when you think of time you cannot fit the concept of the higher self. Because the higher self is you in the future. And you, from the higher self perspective, you are a past life. So, the job or the task of the higher self is to keep you on track, to accomplish whatever you wanted to accomplish before incarnation. So it guides you to the right direction. If you make a wrong turn, he will put you back in track somehow. Because unlike this personality that is based on fear, your higher self is this loving, soft, presence. It's a voice, that whisper to you. If the voice in your head is too loud or very clear, then it's not your higher self. That's your ego or something else. But the higher self, when communicates with you, it really never tells you what to do. It just suggests and gives you options. It respects your free will. It's the wisest part of you that was created directly from source. So it's not limited to your present incarnation. It has access to all your lifetimes and past, present, future, etc. His consciousness spans dimension, time, space, because it's pure energy, source energy. And is the origin of your intuitive knowledge. So basically it's your true self. Now, the higher self is neither male nor female, but when you communicate, for practical reasons, purpose, you want to identify the higher self with your current gender, but it doesn't have gender, of course. The higher self exists in another density and dimension, so it doesn't have a physical form. But anyhow, it's super connected to you, and nothing can break this connection. it has access to your thoughts, feelings, the things you wonder. So it's your best buddy, it's always watching over you to help you. It knows where you are supposed to be, whom you are supposed to meet. So before you incarnate, your higher self get together with some other of your guides and basically say, hey, I'm going down there to incarnate. Will you watch over me? I want to experience this. I want to accomplish that. So, and then it descends and incarnates and becomes you. So you are here, you have a plan, you have a purpose, but your higher self can edit your life plan. If you want to change it out of free will or some need, he can do it, or she. So when people ask me, how can I connect to my higher self? You are always connected and nothing can break that connection. But what we are looking for is a conscious connection. And if you can accomplish that connection, you will have access to your life plan, to your purpose. That's why I encourage people to invest some time and awareness and a bit of effort to try to establish this conscious connection. Some people, receive pictures in the mind. Some people hear voices. Sometimes the higher self comes into dreams. But at the beginning, at least this is my experience, at the beginning, it's like you are talking to somebody else, somebody outside yourself. But little by little, this dialogue becomes intuitive dialogue in your head. It's like there is nobody out there, is inside you, but you still have this dual voice dialogue. But it's also the heart involved, But at the end, it comes a time where you merge. Your awareness and your higher self-awareness merge. So there is only one. There is not you and your higher self. You become the higher self. And in this moment, this merging, it produces spiritual awakening, big time. And when I say spiritual awakening, I mean it's a noticeable expansion of your own consciousness and your capacity to emit and receive love energy. So it is mainly through our open heart and expanded consciousness that we connect or reconnect, merge with the higher part of our consciousness, with our higher self. Now, some people ask me, Uchu, what you feel when it merges, how it is, how this change your life, how this Kundalini awakening, feels, or things like that. And I always tell the story of the Zen master that they ask him, what you used to do before enlightenment? And the guy said, I used to bring water from the river and chop wood. And then, what you do now that you're enlightened? And he said, I bring water from the river and I chop wood. People think that when you achieve this level of awareness, what some people call enlightenment, you will start seeing lights everywhere and levitating and things like that. No, it's not like this. When you reach this stage of evolution, you just continue living an everyday life but you know at a deeper level how it works. You know, it feels like you are an actor, feels like a movie. You are playing a role. You are on stage, you know, and at the same time, you have the power to co-create your role, your script, and other people's role. And no matter how hard your part is, you know that at the end, it's an act. This is very liberating and allows you to have more fun, to enjoy the play. And the other thing that happens is that you experience life at a deeper level after this merging. It's another level where there is peace and spontaneous joy and happiness and sacred wisdom and unconditional love and this sense of connection to everything. So when you merge with your higher self, for the first time you gain control of your own life. You know, you gain a greater ability to create your own reality, or to manifest or co-create your own reality. And as the connection, the merging becomes stronger and grows, you develop a great understanding of who you are, how godly your essence is, and everything is interconnected, and how we are a big part in, you know, in of all that is, you know. We understand that we are, our story, our role is utterly irreplaceable, that the existence and the whole without us will be less, that we complete creation. So in the end, it becomes clear to you, whether we know it or not, we all came here with a purpose, with a mission, to undertake the journey of self-discovery, a journey very specific to each one of us, but with a common nature for all of us, which is the exploration of the self, exploration of consciousness. It's a journey of discovery who we truly are, through expanding consciousness, you know, growing as an individualized part of the soul, of the one soul, you know, the one universe. So it's an amazing journey when you realize this, and you become an explorer of consciousness. And we discover that underneath our egos, we are here to experience more and more our godliness and the love energy. But unfortunately, many people are so absorbed by their egos and intellects that the things I'm saying, these ideas, sound ridiculous to them, you know, unbelievable. Because, as I said, not only they forgot the higher self, but they forgot that they forgot. Now, connecting with your higher self is a paradox, because you are connected all the time. But it's also a paradox because it's not a connection. It's unity, it's union what you are looking for. The conscious connection and exchange of energy goes anyway, but the goal is unity. You need to become your higher self, to elevate your awareness and consciousness to the level of your higher self and merge. So the physical you cannot be separate from your energetic you. So we are here in a physical form, and part of the story is to feel separation, is part of the play. But since we decided to incarnate in physicality, we know that we will feel separation, from everything else. But connecting to your higher self is realizing that there is no separation. Because where does your energy begins and ends? If you can accept that you are much more than this body, than this physical experience, you will see that your energy and your higher self energy are not separated. It's difficult to put it in words in such a short time. So there are many ways to listen to the wisdom of herself, through intuition, through thoughts, through it's like a voice in your head, pictures, symbols, omens. The higher self will use everything and anything to communicate with you, to send you signs, and even through songs, to movies, to books, whatever. But I recommend to calm yourself, calm your mind, to do your meditation, breathing, whatever you do, and to put out from your heart the intention of reconnecting consciously. The higher self is always listening to you. It will send you some sign. Now, one of the ways, it's the old ways to connect to your higher self, but I think it's one of the best, but it's forgotten, is to connect through the wisdom of your body. The problem is that people are disconnected from their bodies. They feel or they believe, let's say, that part of the body thing is suffering, pain, all these things are normal or necessary to have an experience in earth, that's the past. In the past, remember they say, no pain, no gain. Well, I tell you, no pain, all gain. That's the new thing. Things have changed. So one of the keys to align with your higher self is very simple. Is getting to know how your body feels when you are in alignment. The body is a fine instrument to sense energies and frequencies and things. So you need to get to know that feeling. And then when you know the feeling of alignment, you work towards maintaining it by controlling the direction of your thoughts, or by not identifying with your thoughts, because all positive or negative body feelings are rooted in your thoughts. So your thoughts are either in alignment with your higher self or not, and the body can feel it. So when your body feels as good as it can be, your thoughts are in alignment. When your body feels off, in any way, your thoughts are misaligned with your higher self. So we have felt different levels of happiness, or joy, or harmony, passion, peace, abundance, exuberance, these nice things. And not matter how short there have been these feelings, these moments, we all felt it. At these moments, this time, that is when we are fully aligned with our higher self. Now, this alignment feels different for each person, but the result is the same. You know you are in alignment, and your heart feels open, and your body feels as good as it gets. You know, is this set you in the mind frame of alignment, this good feeling? First, you have to realize that life doesn't have to be perfect to be great, because many times this stop us for feeling good. You know, every time you try to make the life perfect, it's less time you have for enjoying it. So just enjoy, even if it's not perfect. The second thing is to acknowledge your own divinity from time to time, because believe it or not, you were born beautifully divine. Just because the other people of the world cannot see that, cannot embrace it, doesn't mean it's not true. Also, nobody told us how to enjoy it. Now that we are growing up in awareness and consciousness, we can enjoy reminding ourselves our divinity from time to time. So the other thing you have to do in order to align is to plant seeds of positive outcomes in your thoughts. I'm not talking about positive thinking. This is another thing. But since you cannot control your thoughts, they come and go. Planting seeds means trying to generate thoughts that produce good feelings and will lead you to a place that, even if you cannot control your thoughts, at least you can control how you respond to them. I know this is a bit confusing, it will take too much time to explain. And the other thing you have to do is just let go drama and just be. This connection is not an static thing that you will be in nirvana all the time. It's about happiness, about being content in balance, and living a life that is, enjoyable for yourself, and letting go the drama, and anything that upsets your balance, you need to let go, because to connect your higher self, you need to be in balance. When you realize that it's no longer enough to accept the way things they are, and you put an effort to balance things, you have a wonderful opportunity to live the life you were born to live and to merge with your higher self. The power to do that is within you, always was. The only thing you have to do is to take the first step towards realizing that you and your higher self they are waiting for a long time for this conscious connection. So you need to do the first step, putting the intention out, and the higher self, one way or another, it will answer to you.